It's development that has been taken, place starting back in 1960s. My people here were very ignorant, and they didn't know that in the future there would be a very big mine here, which is very destructive.
Before reaching the final layers of overburden, they cleared 550 acres of jungle and sluiced away the unconsolidated volcanic rock and ash.
Bougainville Copper Limited, or BCL, is mainly owned by an Australian subsidiary of the world's mining giant, Britain's Rio Tinto Zinc. In 1967, the company was given the go-ahead to excavate what was then the world's biggest open-cast copper mine, 500 metres deep and covering about 7 square kilometres, or the size of London's West End, where Rio Tinto's headquarters are based. It turned out to be a disastrous mistake, especially as they dug the hole right beneath Francis's village. In Bougainville, you don't come between the people and their land.
We Bougainvilleans, we rely on our land. Land is our lifeline, land is our mother, and it's our protection. This place was a very big jungle with, which is a hunting ground for the people of this area. We had big trees, Also, there was a very big hill here. Right in the middle here, there was a very big hill, much higher than the top of those mountains up there. And now it's all disappeared. So now this land, which belongs to people, my people, is now become a abandoned land. And I don't know how we're going to use this land back again.
When the locals protested about the huge hole the multinational wanted to dig at the fertile heart of their island, their land was taken by force. Of the $3 billion the mine made in profit, only 1,000th was given back to the people who owned the land. Rio Tinto Zinc had started to create their most expensive enemy. In the meantime, the inhabitants were shunted off into makeshift resettlements on desolate ground.
That's the Dapeda village, and you can see that's the standard of building they built here for people. It's really like a shanty town. BCL was not been too much genuine to how we can resettle the people. This school was built by people themselves. Even the company and the government, they did not give any support. Just imagine, right in the middle of the giant copper mine, multi-million, worth, and here we are, people building their own schools, out of their own pockets.
But the thing that really stuck in the craw of the Bougainvillians was the pollution spilling over their land. Waste from the mine to the tune of about 1 billion tons ended up flowing down the Jaba River, contaminating it with copper, mercury, lead and arsenic. It killed off the wildlife and turned whole forests into moonscape. The land still bears the garish scars.
This is where all the pollution have been drained from the Panguna mine. You cannot drink water now down there. There are no fish, virtually nothing. And this will be maybe for next 200 years. This whole river system has been destroyed, and even you can't swim into this river.
Things hit boiling point in late 1988 when the Young Landowners Association, led by Francis, demanded both the closure of the mine and $10 billion in damages. The story goes that the BCL management laughed at them, $10 billion being far more than the mine was worth. Francis did not like being laughed at. He left the meeting in a hurry, broke into the local mining depot, and stole 50 kilos of high explosives. He and his friends had decided to close down the mine themselves, with some well-targeted sabotage. Panicked about losing what was nearly half of its export earnings, Papua New Guinea sent in the riot police. They burnt down homes, beat people up, killed a few, and generally created enough backlash to provide France's fledgling guerrilla force with all the recruits it needed. Ragtag bunch though the Bougainville Revolutionary Army were, their very name showed they were now raising the stakes. They didn't just want the mine closed down, they wanted independence too. It was all getting a bit much for the riot squad, so in came the army, the Papua New Guinea Defence Force. Rio Tinto Zinc abandoned the mine, and a David and Goliath war was on, with BRA stones and slings versus PNG helicopters. It was then that Francis realised they weren't fighting just Papua New Guinea, but Australia as well. Australia's ex-colonial interests meant it was already training and arming the PNGDF. Now it also suspended a Foreign Crimes Act, allowing its pilots to fly the helicopters it suddenly supplied. Helicopters that were quickly turned into gunships and trained mainly on an unarmed population. Faced with such brutal and powerful weaponry, the Bougainvillians were forced into the first of a long list of innovations.
This is the first homemade equipment that we made to start the fight, start the war. We got a sling here, and you get this sling hooked on here, put a arrow in there, that goes in through that pipe, you know, and when you prick at this off, it goes up and arrow applies. We make our own guns using all the material all around the place, been left by also in the Panguna. Pick them up and then used to build, cut down all the machines, cut down all the pieces and join them together. Like this one, all this has been made here, and we double them, made in Mekamui, and it's got a serial number. So if part of the equipment is been destroyed in the field, they can come back and then build their own guns. And this is how we build confidence in the force. So just imagine, with one cylinder weapon, winning a SRL, and from that single SRL, we went on to winning now battery about 200 to 300 very powerful weapons. This one is resting now, having a holiday or whatever. Resting for good. Yeah.
I saw that PNGDF, they came just to kill the villages and the civilians. I went out to Panguna and I saw Francis, asked him where are the weapons, and he told me there is no weapon. We will only start with bows and arrows and stones and sticks. I did the training myself, the tactics, the tricks, they're mine, and we made and put everything into action, and we captured 2 high-powered rifles. The boys saw how I fought, and they thought that I was a good leader, so they started following me. So that's how I ended up in holding the position of the BRA.
There are no clear front lines in the jungle. Even though they've made it their own, Ishmael and his boys know the PNGDF may never be far away.
Ini tu ko ari ko keremo kata budi nak ni ga, tahu tak ada sepanci.